This is Donald Hanson with You Don't Know Jersey. These are my questions, answers, and predictions for Wayward Pines Season 1, Episode 9. So the first thing that we find out is, will the aberrations get in? And like I predicted last episode, they were going to try to squeeze around the truck somehow, so they wound up going under. But like Super Sheriff Ethan comes by and smashes the one with his car, and then basically, flattens the tires of the truck so that there's no way for them to get through. Later in the episode, they fix the wall. So for the time being, they can't get in. None of them have really gotten to the town or the people yet. It was interesting watching the faction while they were talking in jail because, they really think that they're the good guys, and they really behave this way. Like, they're very dedicated. They think that they're doing the right thing. Of course, in the end, they're not. So we meet three of the next generation Class 1 people, Jason being their leader, I guess. And we can see that they are some real SOBs. Apparently whatever Megan is doing, to these kids who started out at a much younger age than Ben, for instance, who just got there, because Kate, she knew one of the kids from when they were a lot younger. So when you teach these kids the way Megan is about the strict rules of Wayward Pines from a young age, they turn into, some real jerks. And so they go to the sheriff's office because they're upset that, of course, the wall actually got a hole put in it because they know the danger and they're very aware of it. The funny part is that they're actually right, even though they're acting aggressive and crazy. They're actually, doing the right thing by trying to stop the wall from being broken. Ethan's interview with Harold is kind of fun because Ethan has like this really blunt way of explaining things, which actually is kind of humorous, but still serious, but humorous. Now we're seeing Pam actually want more people to know what's going on because she tells Teresa, don't take Main Street home. She literally sends her by Plot 33 because she knows that Teresa is interested in Plot 33. So she's basically telling her, hey, go down that street, see what you find, telling her to go to Plot 33 because she wants people to know. Pam realizes that this secrecy thing is not working while David Pilcher still doesn't realize it. When Teresa does actually go into Plot 33, she discovers it was like a place where they stored records of the expeditions that they sent out, I guess after they woke everyone up. And so in this scene is very nice is that Teresa and Kate learn the truth and finally believe Ethan. And at the same time, we find out what happened to poor Adam Hassler, who was gone one of the expeditions, and last thing he discovered was the aberrations were communicating with each other before he winds up getting killed, and apparently all the other videos showed that no one found anyone anywhere, so it means that Wayward Pines really is all there is left because there were expeditions all over the world to see if there were any people left, any civilization. As I predicted, which is pretty obvious, Amy has this swelling on the brain, and so, she's in critical condition now. I don't know 100% if she's still going to die. I think she's going to die, but I can't say 100%. They're giving a little bit of hope. I still feel like she's pretty much done, but there's a little hope. Ben finally has to stand in front of the first generation and talk to them about what happened, and he's apologizing for his father's actions. But you can see that Ben, he's not convinced of the first generation's attitude. He's being a little bit pressured by Megan and the first generation to go along with their ideas, but you can see he's still kind of, he's not convinced that being like the first generation is the right way to do things. You can see that he still thinks maybe his father is right. So then Jason and the other two first-generation guys, they break into the police station. And this scene, crazy scene. I did not expect Harold and the other three members of the faction to get killed by them. I did not expect it to go that far. That was shocking to me. It really cements the idea of how hardened and how what Megan has done to these kids. What she has done psychologically to them by raising them the way she's raised them. Very disturbing. Although the other two were not, like Jason was the one that wanted to go through with it. The other two were not so, they were like, okay, we made our point. So they're not all like that. But, some of them are. Some of them are crazy like that. The others are, maybe there's reasonable first generation ones, as well. I feel really, really bad for the people in the faction because, in reality, based on the knowledge that they have, they're doing the right thing. They're not doing anything wrong. They're the heroes here, and they behave very heroically. So it's funny that what they're doing really would ultimately be a horrible thing, which leads to everyone's death. But really, from their point of view, with their knowledge, they're the good guys. This episode, we see Ethan and Pilcher's philosophies kind of diverging further, where, of course, Pilcher wants to keep everyone in the dark and just keep, strict control, while Ethan really sees this is not working. And so, of course, at the end of the episode, he cleverly tricks Pilcher into thinking he's going to reckon Kate. Instead, brings everyone together to tell them the truth, which, like I said last episode, I thought people were going to find the truth out, but I thought they were going to find the truth out by the aberrations coming in. Really, they found the truth out because Ethan is tired of dealing with Pilcher's, kind of faulty solutions to the problem. What's interesting is that after the first couple episodes, I was disappointed that Wayward Pines was only a 10-episode first season. But really, when you look at the amount of story that's been told in each episode, it's pretty much staggering. Most shows do not move this fast. And it's great that it does, because it makes every episode mean something. When I look at the clock and I'm watching the show, I'm always thinking to myself, I can't believe that it's only 20 minutes in, or it's only 40 minutes in, because it feels like so much story has taken place. And that's really, really nice. Quality over quantity. They've done more in 9 episodes than most shows do in an entire season. Okay, so now everybody knows Pilcher has gone over the edge, freaked out, shut the power off. Now the aberrations can get in because the fence is not electrified anymore. So, of course, the 10th episode is going to be where, it all hits the fan, right? And so that's going to be, we're going to see what happens. Who lives? Who dies? I mean, obviously some people are going to die. Will they be able to rescue the town? Will they be able to somehow, save it so that it can go on after this? Will Pilcher get killed? There's a lot of questions now. I mean, I think the power went out, so now is Amy going to die because Pilcher turned the power off? Because that means that, Ethan wouldn't so much be on the hook because she was kind of stabilized, although the outlook was kind of grim. But I mean, Ethan's son, I think, he's kind of 50-50 now. I'm thinking now more like Ethan's son is not going to turn against him and not blame him for Amy. I'm thinking he might side back with his father now. But again, that could go either way. Ben could join the first generation and take a hard-lined attitude and that kind of thing, or he could side back with his father. So that's up in the air. Amy with the power off, unless it has a backup generator in the hospital, I think she's this is really bad because the machines were helping her live. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but so the next episode we get to see the aberrations invade and who knows what else. So after that, I'll make another episode after episode 10, which is the finale. Also, Wayward Pines is the #1 watched show of the summer, 2015.